As I'm working on my wheels, I noticed a tiny little chip here. I've zoomed way in so you can see it. But there is a little tiny rock chip right there on one of the spokes. And this film is designed to exactly prevent that. Hey everybody! On this video today, it's going to be round 2 of Bemaro Films vinyl appearance mods for the 2020 GT500. This is my carbon fiber track pack. I've got the camera up nice and high to show this first piece up here. This is new for Bemaro Films. Benjamin, the owner of the company there, had solid colors for the rear wing here. This one is a semi-transparent, if you will, or kind of a ghosted that'll allow, hopefully, the carbon fiber weave to come up through the letters. So I'll be installing this today, let you guys see the process and the final results. I also have a supercharger decal overlay, as well as the steering wheel hub snake there overlay. And then I've got a set of paint protection film spoke protectors for the carbon fiber track pack wheels that I'll be installing on this car, and then putting ceramic over top of that. So I'll show you the whole process, and then once it's all done, take the car outside, get it in the bright light, and see how it looks. Thanks for watching. Before we get started on the install video, a little bit about Bemaro Films in case anybody else wants to get these products. So Benjamin Bemaro has the film company. It's bemarofilms.com. And it's a small business, you know, it's just him and a few people. So he's got some great products on the website. We're going to navigate around his website here in just a second and show you what I got. But you know, reach out to him, be patient. It's not a big corporation, you know, a big company with a bunch of people working. You know, he'll get to you, he'll take care of you, and his products are fantastic. On the left side of his website, you'll see the different vehicles that he offers products for. Click on Ford GT500, scroll down, you'll see the different stuff he offers. In the first video I did of Bemaro Films, I installed the front GT500 on the front bumper, the splitter Shelby, the hood vent inlays, the side and rear, front and back snake graphic overlays. I also did those front bumper side overlays. But this time around I did the wing, carbon fiber wing, Shelby overlay, and I did the steering wheel and supercharger, as well as the paint protection film you see on the right side there for the carbon fiber wheels. You can see on this picture here the blue area is what's covered by the paint protection film. Now the film itself is not blue, it's just blue on the website there to see what is covered. It's a transparent film that protects the inside of the spokes from getting chipped. He offers a couple different graphics for the rear wing. This is the solid or bold Shelby decal. I opted for the other one here that you're going to see in just a second. The one on the left there, which is the modern Shelby decal. And working with him, he got, you know, he's always had these solid colors. I was requesting a transparent or the semi-gloss transparent, which he recently added. That allows for the carbon fiber weave to shine up through the graphic. First up is the wing decal, and it's worth mentioning a very cool thing here. This comes curved, you know, it's printed on a curved radius to match the wing. And this is unlike when I added a windshield banner to my 2011 here, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. That came straight, and I had to cut the letters out and curve them along the windshield banner. We'll go take a look at that now. So back in 2012, I installed this windshield banner here. Like I said, that came just on a straight piece of paper. It was printed straight, and this curves with the roof line there. So the Y and the S would have hung down real low. So I ended up cutting it. I think I did 2-letter blocks each time so I could follow the roof line. You don't have to worry about that on the wing decal. Benjamin's got it all printed in a nice curve to match. I've got the car cleaned. I used a California Duster and detail spray. Another thing worth mentioning is this car has paint protection film and ceramic, or quartz really. So this wing actually is covered in, this top side has film on it, and there's a quartz layer over top of that. I did check the stickiness with painter's tape to see if it's real, not sticky at all, or wouldn't adhere to it, and it did give me good adhesion. So I think the letters will stick fine. After cleaning, next up is isopropyl alcohol. The higher the concentration, the better. Benjamin mentioned that I think he said he has 91%, which is best. I called around, nobody had that right now, sold out. So I've got 70% and a lint-free towel. All right, talking with Benjamin today. This comes on, you can see it says 3M there. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. He said anything that comes on the 3M backing is a dry application. So you can't spray this down with soapy water and slide it around. This is dry application only. So my next step up is I'm going to measure out exactly where I want this, and then put maybe some light markings there that can be taken off later, and then peel and stick, and we're going to rub it in. I do have a couple of tools this time. I have a felt lined end of a squeegee there. And then this is just a traditional squeegee to kind of get into tighter spots there. All right, mapping out where this decal is going to go. I measured from the side pane here to the decal centered, and it was right at 4 inches to where the paper was cut. So I used a black permanent marker, a little Sharpie, and I marked that 4 inches in on each side. And then front to back, due to the curvature of this wing, it seemed to be better just slightly forward of centered. So I measured in 3 inches from the edge, and I've got a mark there of right there 3 inches with a permanent Sharpie. All right, here goes nothing. I cleaned it one more time, and now I am going to peel and stick, see how it goes. Narrator time. Okay, so don't use this technique to apply your film on the wing. The wing itself is curved, it's an arc across the back of the car. It's also curved upwards, and trying to apply this one big solid decal on, a curved radius in 2 different directions, as well as, the biggest part of that is applying it dry, is impossible. I'm not a professional vinyl installer. I've installed a handful of pieces through the years, so I kind of, got, a little bit of working knowledge on how to do it. But doing this dry is impossible. I spoke to Benjamin after the fact, and he said what I should have done is kept the backing on the decal itself, tape the whole decal down, remove a little bit of the backing at a time, and apply that part as you're removing the backing, going around the radius there. But I simply ripped off the whole back and tried to apply it, and it does not work. I'm finding one big solid piece is tough to manage with the dry application. With all the curves, it's not a flat surface. So I'm actually going to cut out the individual letters, but keep them on that same path. And with it printed in a curve, it's still going to be way easier because they're already in the position versus if they were printed straight. All right, I got them all tacked down very lightly. I'll bring the camera in closely to show you before I go pressing them down. That definitely was much easier cutting the letters out. You can see the slits there, the film's over the top of the vinyl still. And I measured 3 inches from the front, and I did multiple marks, which will all come off with rubbing alcohol. And there's 4 inches there, and 4 inches there. Now, I'm going to press it down and see how it looks. First letter down, looking good. All right, I'm going to take the camera over and show you how I'm pressing these down. So the protective top coating is still on here, and there's a lot of air pockets underneath here. So just using this squeegee here that has felt on there, and not really necessary to use felt because there's still the protective barrier on here, but just working the letters out, making sure if I do have a big air bubble not to crease the vinyl that's underneath there. Just work the air out. And I do actually have some syringes, courtesy of the people that did my paint protection film on my car. You can suck out, if you get air trapped behind, the vinyl, you can stick it in there gently and suck the air out. You just work all the air pockets out. Get it down stuck flat on the surface. And then peel. But you're not going to see the letters until they're all done. So I'm going to cut it right there. All right, I got all the letters down. I've got the backing off of all the letters. And in case it lifts it up at all, I like to do, I've got just some paper backing that some of my garage vinyl decal decor came on. I like to put this down over freshly applied vinyl and just kind of work it down, and doing it through the paper, you're pressing it down and you're not marring. And there is felt on here to protect it, but that's just another way to protect it from marring. But the letters are looking lovely. Oh, and another thing I did was I took some rubbing alcohol on a little towel and I went around and removed all my black Sharpie marks. And they all wiped right off. All right, we'll take a look at the letters at the end of the video. Next on deck is the supercharger overlay, so here we go on that. First step, isopropyl alcohol, lint-free rag. Wipe it all down, get it good and clean, especially if you have any oils underneath the engine bay. All right, one supercharger decal overlay, and I'm gonna install this dry once again. Just work my way around, peel and stick. And this does not have a protective vinyl over it, which is actually a good thing because then you can see what the heck you're working with. But here it comes off. There we go. And of course, you got to lean way in because the the front splitter kind of hangs out pretty far. So I'm just going to line it up to keep the back from sticking down in case it flops on me. Aha! That worked like a champ. All right, make sure I don't have any creases there. Working any folds out to the outside. And I am happy with that position, so I am going to put my protector over there and work it down. That looks lovely. All right, that was quick and dirty. Yeah, so using the piece of paper, I put it behind the upper body and worked the front line there, the front edge, and then pulled out the paper and let it flop down into position. But add some body color underneath the hood. Looks great. Next up, inside the car, we are going to take care of the decal on the inside of the steering wheel there on the hub. And same process, just clean it with rubbing alcohol and apply the decal. All right, for the steering wheel, I'm just going to start with the upper part of the body on the backing still and work the bottom, and then take the tape or take the back off the top and stick that on as well. I'm gonna need both hands for this, so I will show you after the fact. All right, steering wheel is done. After the letters cured for about 24 hours, I used my Adams ceramic wheel kit to put 3 coats of ceramic coating over the top of the letters and the entire top side of the wing. You'll see at the end of this video I get the car outside out in the sun, and it is glossy and beautiful. Here is the paint protection film for the wheels. It comes in a roll, and let's see, you can just see there's some transparent spokes there, or covers for the spokes, and we'll be installing those a little bit. See how they go. All right, it's time to do the paint protection film on the carbon fiber wheel spokes. First up, I got the car up in the air, and I have all the wheels removed. Next up is cleaning the wheels. I'm going to clean them with Windex first, and then rubbing alcohol, get them good and clean, and then work on installing the film. All right, I've got the wheels off like I showed. I just did 2 rounds of cleaning. First round was Windex, and I dry wiped them after, and then I used rubbing alcohol and got them as good and clean as possible. It is worth mentioning that these wheels are ceramic coated, or quartz really coated. So I ended up buying a set of wheel ceramic coating. It was a kit, I guess. So that after I put on this film, I am going to coat the film with ceramic myself. All right, I'm going to show my process on one of the spokes here. So I start out with just a spray bottle that has some Dawn dish soap in there, get it soapy. And I spray this down here, does a couple things, washes away the lint, and it allows you to move the vinyl around to get it where you want it. The vinyl goes just inside the spoke, and next is I'm going to grab the piece of vinyl and spray down the backside of that. So here's the piece of vinyl. One side is obviously sticky. I try to avoid touching the very small fine points there because I want that to have maximum adhesion. I grab it off of the point when I'm peeling it off the paper backing and spray the backside down. Next up is just lightly putting it in place. And again, this is with the soapy solution in place. All right, next step, I have a bottle of rubbing alcohol. It's supposed to be 2/3 90 proof, if you will, 90% rubbing alcohol with 1/3 of water. I didn't have access to that, so I used 70%, and I just used more rubbing alcohol, less water. But I am going to peel this back and spray the wheel, which gets rid of the soap, as well as the back of the vinyl. And I work on one side of the spoke. Now it's a lot stickier, or a lot more sticky, I guess you would say, without that soap on there. Trying to line it up perfectly there, which that looks pretty good. Not hanging off the back or over the front or the top side, so to speak. Then making sure the center part of the spoke is down. Working back. And I'll get the top side done here in a second, that part of the angle. I'm going to peel this side off, which still has the soap on it, and spray this down with the rubbing alcohol. And still move it a little bit, but not nearly as well as with the soap. Get that where it needs to go, not hanging off the back or the top. And then start working everything out with the squeegee. And also press with your finger, especially on that curved part of the spoke that comes up. Just pressing it down with your blade of your finger there. And then coming back with the squeegee and working out the water and rubbing alcohol. Now I move my head around and look in the reflections, and that's how you can spot the bubbles. So I'm just moving my line of sight around and using the light. I've got a little portable LED light too. I can look down and see any bubbles along the sides there. And if you see them, work them out with your finger or press them out with the squeegee. I start on the valve stem set of spokes there, just because it's an easy marker to see where you've started and where you're going around. It's kind of hard to see the film, but got the inside of this one, and just laid this one. And then I go back, and press down, looking for bubbles that are appearing as I'm working on the subsequent spokes. I go back to the previous spokes. And then also when it comes time, I keep rotating the wheel so that this is right in front of me where I'm working. I don't grab the spokes to rotate. I just grab around the outside of the tire here to rotate it and align it for the next set. As I'm working around this wheel, I just saw a little tiny chip. It's reflecting really well in the light right now, so you can see right there, and that's exactly what this film is designed to protect against. It's cosmetic, but yeah, it'll protect from future chips. So this is the chip that I just showed you there. And actually the vinyl does a pretty good job of almost concealing it. It's harder to see with you can get just the right light up close, you can see that. But the vinyl covers over the little cosmetic flaw there and looks much better. Alright, got all the spokes done on this wheel. I'd say it took me about an hour, but it's not done. So as it dries and the rubbing alcohol and water comes out and it kind of cures, I'll be coming back around and pressing down anything that pops up, focusing on the inside edge, the outside edge, especially where there's curves here, poking that down, and any water bubbles or bubbles underneath there that I can't work out to an edge, that aren't by an edge, I will use syringe, stick it in there at a sharp angle, so you're not poking the wheel, but stick it in at a sharp angle, suck it out, press it down flat with your finger or squeegee, and you can get those syringes at any pharmacy like CVS, Walgreens, stuff like that. But looks good. Well, first wheel is done. I like the product, very good. It's going to do a good job protecting the inside of the spokes. It's basically invisible, and that's kind of the idea of the PPF. But yeah, all the insides of the spokes are all protected all the way around. Now I'm going to do one step further. I mentioned earlier that these wheels are already ceramic or quartz coated. I bought an Adams kit for wheel ceramic coating. And I am going to, once this fully cures, dries, on all the wheels, I'm going to coat all the film just to keep that nice hard surface, keep the brake dust off there, or make it easy to clean off. But unnecessary step. I'm just doing the next level, and hopefully it'll turn out well. On the sheet comes enough of these vinyl film pieces to cover all the spokes on all four wheels, with 2 extra pieces. And I ended up having to use one of the extra pieces. All was going well, but as I went to move it to the tire, static cling caused the sticky side to come in contact with the tread, and of course got the grit on the back there. So nice touch by Benjamin there by including a couple extras in case you make any mistakes. I didn't have any problems doing the wheels, making any errors on the spokes themselves, but that one time with the static cling I just hit a dirty tread. After the film is sat for quite a while, like maybe 24 hours, I just go back and press on all the corners. All right, 1 down, 3 to go. This one over here is the first one I did, and looks just like the rest. Can't see the film. Adams wheel ceramic kit. So working on the first one, and these wheels have already been ceramic coated, by the way. I just put film on the insides of the wheels, paint protection film, so I'm going to re-ceramic coat them. First step is surface prep. I just sprayed it on a rag and wiped inside the spokes, outside, all basically the whole face. So this wheel here is all prepped. Next up is applying the ceramic. So you can use 2 applicators. There's this kind of sponge wrapped in microfiber, or just a towel. It's kind of like, I think they call it a silk towel or something like that. And I'm just doing inside of 2 at a time. I'm gonna let that cure. There's a video that talks about feeling it for tackiness. The instructions talk about leaving it for 2 to 3 minutes, and then buffing it off with the big soft cloth there. So I'm gonna do inside of 2 at a time and work my way around. This wheel is completely covered. So I did inside where I have the paint protection film. I did across here at the same time, and did that around all the insides of the spokes. And then I went back and I did the whole center section separately, and then I did the top of the spokes as well. So this whole wheel's been coated again, and I plan to do a second coat on all these wheels when they're done, curing from the first coat. Well, the project is complete. I got the car out in the bright sun and we're gonna see how it looks. It's worth mentioning that I took this car out for a drive yesterday. Went for a little cruise and hit a car show. Went out with some other Mustangs, and the paint protection film worked as advertised, and was easy to clean, especially with that added ceramic that I put on there. That's it. That's my Bemaro Films 2.0 appearance mods and carbon fiber wheel PPF. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.